Hello, and welcome back to Funeral Industry Insights. This is a podcast where we talk about one of life's most difficult subjects, which is death, and the different aspects of the funeral industry. I'm your host, Michelle Dwyer, and today we're diving into something that's essential for every adult in New South Wales or Australia even to understand, and that's the difference between a power of attorney, an enduring power of attorney, and an executor. Knowing the difference between the three different roles can save you and your loved ones a lot of stress down the track. So let's get together and let's just break it down and explain them all to you. But firstly, what I would just like to point out is that I am not a solicitor, nor am I offering any legal advice here today. My suggestion is if you are looking to appoint a power of attorney, an enduring power of attorney, or an executor, or if somebody else has requested that you act on their behalf, that you do seek your own independent legal advice just to ensure that you're wanting the responsibility of the roles, and just to obviously ensure that you're having somebody do those roles for you that you trust as well. So what is a power of attorney? So a power of attorney is a legal document that what it does is it gives someone you trust the authority to act on your behalf in both your financial and your legal matters. So in New South Wales, it's governed by the Powers of Attorney Act of 2003. And the kinds of things that you give authority for people to be able to act on your behalf for is like managing bank accounts, paying your bills, dealing with your property. They can actually even buy and sell real estate on your behalf. It all depends on what powers that you have granted them as such. But, and this is a very big but, a standard power of attorney only works whilst you have capacity. Okay, so that means that if you lose the ability to make any decisions, say from a serious illness or an accident, then the power of attorney becomes invalid. Okay, now this is where an enduring power of attorney differs. Okay, so similar to a power of attorney, however, it also lets the person make financial and legal decisions for you. But the key word here is enduring. Okay, so what that means is that it continues to be valid even if you lose that capacity. Okay, so this is crucial for long-term planning, especially as we age, or in the case of sudden medical events as well. Okay, so let's just say, for instance, you develop dementia or you suffer a brain injury. If you've appointed an enduring power of attorney, then they can continue to manage your affairs when you can't. Okay, now important point here too is that an enduring power of attorney must be made still whilst you still have your full legal capacity as well. Okay, so once that capacity is gone, neither a power of attorney or an enduring power of attorney documents can be changed. Okay, so yeah, and the other thing to note is that the moment you pass away, both a power of attorney and enduring power of attorney, both of those roles cease and become invalid. And that's when we switch gears and it becomes the role of the executor. Okay, so the executor's role only commences the moment you pass away. Okay, so the executor is the person named in your will who you've deemed responsible for managing your estate. So they make sure your debts are paid, your assets are distributed according to your will, and that the legal stuff is sorted. Okay, so an executor can also organise the funeral. They'll apply for probate on your behalf, which is the legal process of just confirming that the will is actually valid. They may also collect and value your assets. They'll pay the debts. Then what they'll do is they'll then finally distribute what's left of your estate to the beneficiaries. Okay, so if you don't have an executor named in your will, or let's just say, for instance, your executor is unable or unwilling to act on your behalf, then your next of kin is also able to apply for letters of administration. Okay, so, but just remember that the executor has no authority whilst you're still alive. Okay, so let's just go back and just cover the key points and the key differences to what the difference are between the three roles. So let's just recap. Your power of attorney can manage your financial and legal affairs whilst you're alive and whilst you still have capacity. Okay, your enduring power of attorney, same as the power of attorney, yet they continue to have that control even after you've lost your capacity. Okay, and then your executor manages your estate after you pass away. Okay, so each role in themselves are quite powerful. They're not interchangeable. So you could and often should have appoint different people to be able to do each of those roles. Look, depending on their strengths and also depending on your trust in them too. Like that's a big thing. Okay, so like example, you might have a sister who's great with money. So you think, okay, you know what, she'd be great as your power of attorney. Or then you may have a friend or a spouse who's super organized and you think, well, you know what, they may be better suited to being the executor. Okay, and that's where the choice comes down to yours. But the main things when choosing someone to do these roles is, look, for me, trust is number one. These people are going to have access to your finances. They're going to control your legacy. Okay, you want someone that's got some financial literacy, some organization skills, emotional security, maturity. Sorry, just being able to handle things under pressure. Okay, and consider people as a backup as well, because look, life happens. People move away, they get sick, or sometimes they can't do the job, or they just don't wish to do the job. Okay, so appointing perhaps multiple people can be sensible as well. And I can't stress this enough. Please talk to the people that you're appointing. Okay, make sure that they're willing to want to take that role on themselves as well. And if any of your circumstances change whatsoever, no matter how big or small, always revisit those choices. Okay, just make sure at any time in your life, if you've put them into play, that you still agree with who you've got that you're wanting to be able to look after as your power of attorney, enduring power of attorney, or your executor. Okay, well, that's a wrap for today's episode. If you are in New South Wales and you haven't put these documents into place as yet, it is worth speaking with a solicitor and visiting, or you could visit the New South Wales Trustee and Guardian, and they'll give you the relevant advice that you need when you should set them up. Try not to leave it till you're sick to do these sorts of things. As we age, as we sit down and we write up a will, it is very sensible to have these documents, the power of attorney or enduring power of attorney, put in place at the same time. Okay. As always, thank you so much for listening and joining me once again on Funeral Industry Insights. If today's episode has been helpful to yourself and you think that somebody else may be interested in it as well, please feel free to share. Please feel free also to subscribe wherever you see our podcast from. And just remember also to planning ahead is a gift, okay? It's not just for you, but it's for the people that you love. And yeah, look, until next time, thank you so much. Look after each other and plan wisely. Thank you.